Okay, this is the third time I've tried to upload this video as my internet is crap. It keeps saying something went wrong, let's try again. I'm doing a playlist on YouTube, a playlist called Women of Faith. Women of Faith. I've met many women of faith since leaving the Watchtower 4 years ago through my internet connections. Some of them, or most of them actually, are Jehovah's Witnesses like I was. But I'm talking here particularly of women of faith in the Bible. Women of faith in the Bible. Who comes to your mind with that expression, women of faith in the Bible? Put your comments. And like I said, I'm doing a video playlist. You might mention women I've not even thought about. Let's start with number one, probably one you've never thought of. Luke chapter 8. Let's read this. Okay, and we'll go from Luke 8, verse 40 onwards. Luke 8:40. On the other side of the lake, the crowds received Messiah with open arms, because they've been waiting for him. Picture that. Now a man named Jairus, a leader of the local synagogue, came and fell down at the feet of the Messiah, begging him to come home with him. Jairus' daughter was dying, a little girl, 12 years old. Can you picture that, folks? Can you picture that? As Messiah went with him, he was surrounded by the crowds. So get the picture. He's going with Jairus to help Jairus' daughter who was dying. There was a woman in the crowd who had been suffering a hemorrhage of blood for 12 years. Now get this. Can you picture this? A woman bleeding for 12 years. She'd be very frail, lack of iron, unclean in Israel's eyes, like a leper, right, was in the crowds. She had spent everything she had on doctors, right, but could not find a cure for illness. She came up behind the Messiah and touched the fringe of his robe. Immediately the bleeding stopped. That's Luke accounts of this, Luke 8. But Matthew's 9 account of this says a bit more information. She had said in her heart, if only I touch his garment, I'll be healed. Okay, that's Matthew 9. We look at Luke 8 here. Messiah said, who touched me? Picture the crowd, and someone touches his garment, and Messiah said, who touched me? Everyone sort of said, what, not me, not me. They all denied it. And Peter said, Master, what are you talking about? The whole crowd is pressing on in you, and you say, who touched me? And Messiah said, no, someone deliberately touched me, for I felt healing power go out from me. And when the woman recognized Messiah, knew this, she began to tremble. Picture this. And fell to her knees. The whole crowd heard her explain why she had touched him, and the fact she'd been healed immediately. Messiah said, daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Amazing story. Then when you read on, he goes forward with Jairus and heals and resurrects Jairus' daughter who had died. Amazing story. So what can we learn from this, of this woman of faith? The power of faith and prayer. Somebody said to Messiah, if possible, Messiah, what's this phrase, if possible, all things are possible if you have faith. And James says this in James chapter 1. If you need wisdom, James 1:5, if you want to know what God wants you to do, ask Him. Ask Him. He will gladly tell you. He will not resent your asking. But when you ask Him, be sure that you really expect Him to answer. For a doubtful mind is like a wind of the sea, tossed around. People like that should not expect any reply. They can't make up their minds. So what is this about? Faith. Faith can move mountains. We can't pray, if possible. Messiah said, when you pray, believe it and you will already receive it. So going back to Luke 8 we read there, and interesting, the power account in Matthew 9, we go forward to Matthew 14, where Peter saw Messiah walking on the water. And Peter said, I can do that. Come on, Lord, let me do that. And the Messiah said, come on then, come on. And Peter walked on the water until he looked down and began to sink. The Messiah said, you of little faith. Okay, part 1. A woman of faith. Power went out from the Messiah. He didn't even know who had touched him. Think about that very carefully. All you stupid people that say Messiah is God, he didn't know, because the Father was working through him. You see the power of faith and prayer. You have faith now, don't you? You're watching this video through human hands. How much more so should we connect with our Father? All things are possible with our Father if we have faith.